Hi, I'm Mike from Scoutadelic, and how can you make an egg box sustainable for the Queen? Find out. Hi, I'm Mike from Scoutadelic. Now, well, I've travelled virtually the world of scouting, but this month I really wanted to come back home because it is the Jubilee of the Queen, 70 years on the throne, amazing, and there's something a bit great about Britain. Now, I know I come from there and therefore I'm a bit biased, but it's really an amazing thing to maybe celebrate my own country for a change. So this month I needed someone who was great, who was from Britain, and who maybe liked jam first. So who is my co-host going to be this month? Let's find out.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I am an assistant Beaver Scout leader from Cornwall. I'm also the County Youth Commissioner, and this is my 60-second Scouter.
3, 2, 1.
What is your favourite hobby?
Gardening. I think it boosts my mood.
What got you into scouting?
I think seeing my friends having a good time and knowing that I could go and join and have a similar good time and great experiences that they were having.
What's the unusual thing that you take to camp?
Oh, I've got a teddy with a little neckerchief that I always take called Philip.
What's the best campfire song?
Charlie had a pigeon.
What's the most testing experience that you've had to gain your Queen Scout Award?
Just sticking at it, because every time we tried to do an expedition, there seemed to be a storm or something which pushed it back, including the pandemic.
One word to describe scouting.
I'd say inclusive.
What's your favourite thing on TV at the moment?
Well, my usual answer is the BBC News channel, if you must know.
Things you do for your mental health.
Get out in the garden, do some exercise always helps.
Mm-hmm.
Spending time with friends is a big one as well.
So thanks again for answering all these questions. So how are you today?
I'm not doing too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you very much. I've done this 77 times. I've had from one extreme to another in skills, and I just get this vibe that it's environmentally plant-based maybe, but what type of skill are you going to teach me and everyone else today?
So as well as kind of being a skill, it's also kind of a lesson that actually stuff that we usually throw away can be reused. And obviously with lots of sustainability talk going on around the world at the moment, reusing is quite an important topic. Mm-hmm. So should we look at how we can plant some things in different items?
Yeah. So obviously, like this month is all about like Great Britain and like the Jubilee and everything else. So what are you gonna? What's some things that you can show me?
Interesting, you mentioned the Jubilee. Actually, there's a big project going on. I'm sure you know about it, called the Queen's Green Canopy. So I thought kind of plants might tie into that ever so slightly.
Just slightly.
They might not. I'll let you make your mind up with that. But shall we start with a loo roll holder?
Oh yeah, well I have my loo roll holder here.
Lots of us will go through these very regular. Well, quite regularly perhaps.
What kind of problem? Do you need to phone up a doctor if you're quite regularly using these quite a lot?
So you may go through a few of these in your time. And
all those people who stored these in the pandemic. Well, this is why you're going to reuse them.
So these can actually be really useful for putting plants in. Then the cardboard will biodegrade, so you can put cardboard on compost heaps. Usually, if you can put it on a compost heap, it will biodegrade if you put it in some soil.
Nice. Okay.
So you can make like a little plant pocket. And when the plant gets to a certain size, you can put it in a bigger pot or in some more compost. The cardboard around it will biodegrade and the roots will just grow into the new soil.
Wow.
So
All right. So how do I turn this? Because obviously, if I put soil or plant in this right now, it's going to slide all the way down, and I'm going to get messy, which usually happens if I'm doing anything with soil or anything like that. But yeah. So what do we need to do?
it's very simple. You'll be glad to hear.
I'm so
You
glad.
literally take the end.
Yep.
You pinch one end in,
Okay.
and you pinch the other side in. So you kind of make like a little parcel on the end, and it comes out like bunny ears.
Yeah.
There
Ish.
you go.
Yeah.
And then if you fold the bunny ears in,
Right.
you've kind of created a lock in the bottom. So you've got your little pot like this. Now, to make it a bit more fun, Mike, I thought we could draw a little face on it, perhaps, before you put your plants in it.
Okay.
So I made one earlier.
That way our sharp is.
Yes, fantastic. So here's one I made earlier that I thought was a bit like me in my favourite colour with green.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Love that.
I've actually made one that's like you. It's got a little bit soggy. I made this one a bit earlier. There's some soil in this already, Mike, and but there you go. There's you with your bit of hair. Unfortunately, the soil is seeping through this, but yeah, it's quite cool. And you can this succulent, once it's grown into the cardboard, you can put into another pot and let it grow out a bit more.
So, like that is obviously getting soggy. Would you worry about that, or how would you? Is that because you maybe watered it too much, or how does that?
That's because I put it in with wet soil.
Okay.
Because it was raining when I took the soil.
I see. Okay.
If you put dry soil in, it depends on the plant. I've used a succulent so that the soil can get dry and it doesn't matter too much. But usually Google has a lot of information on whether plants are good, how much water they need.
So I'm one that, unfortunately, my plants don't tend to be around that long. So are you saying that I should really go with like a succulent? Is that the one that more than likely will survive?
Well, yeah, the plants I tend to go for are plants that don't need too much attention.
Okay.
And actually, succulents are usually quite good, and cacti as well. The more you ignore them, the better they do. So
Nice.
They're good plants to have.
Okay.
And I've got lots of succulents around. You'll be able to see just behind me here. There's a whole shelf of succulents here that I've not watered for probably over 2 months, and they're doing okay.
So is that how you get away with that? As in you like, hey, look at all my plants. They don't need any water whatsoever, no attention. And you're like, look at me. I'm just really good at this.
Well, they need some water. Obviously all plants need water, but yeah, pretty much. If you go for low maintenance plants, which a lot of plants, to be honest with you, are low maintenance. Although a good test, a good bit of advice is if you have a pot with some soil, tap it with your finger. If you have some soil on your finger, then it's got enough water. If no soil comes up, then you probably need to water it because the soil is too dry to stick to your finger. That's a good test for whether to water your plants or not.
Oh, nice. Well, sir, because obviously, like we mentioned, obviously Queen's Jubilee and the Queen and everything else. So you'll be pleased to know that I have decorated mine. You're going to laugh at it, but I don't care. I think it's quite impressive. I have made the Queen.
That is brilliant.
Thank you. I just need a plant to go in it, and there we are. She
I'm
can.
intrigued at what sort of plant is going to make her hair.
Well, obviously crown-esque. That's what I need. So I don't know. Maybe some sunflowers or something golden.
This one isn't too dissimilar to a crown.
Oh well, there we are. You see.
Maybe did I just give you a crown? Is that what I did?
I need one. I need one for the amount of stuff I do. I definitely need one.
So while we're on the kind of biodegradable you put a plant in and then you can move it on kind of thing, we can also use, if I can find it, egg boxes. If you grab your egg box, you can cut one of the egg kind of compartments out.
Okay. Yeah.
And make your own little pot, isn't it? I suppose.
Yes, that's very true.
So there we go. We've got a little pot there.
Yeah.
Now they aren't too high, so the sides are a bit flimsy, so you kind of want plants that don't need too many roots. So usually new plants, like this little succulent, which is quite new, and I've used to put in an egg box just to get the roots started before putting it into a new pot. So you could also leave it as one big egg box and put some soil in and have a seed in every kind of bit, every egg compartment. Or you could use the top bit as a tray and just have a load of seeds. So like if you're growing cress, you might just want to scatter seeds over kind of a big area. So you can do that on the big edge. And although it's biodegradable, so it may not last that long if you keep watering it. If you've got another little tray to put it in, it's quite handy to hold some soil and grow some plants quite quickly, rather than throwing these things away, because some of what we recycle and put into our recycling systems isn't recyclable. And so the more we can reuse, the better, really, because actually we're using energy to recycle, whereas we aren't to reuse. So it's very important to make sure that we are reusing as much as we can, as well as recycling.
Is there anything else that people can use instead of, so if they want to do like toilet rolls, are there any other examples or any other things that they can reuse and recycle like we were talking about?
Yeah, good question. So you can use all sorts, and actually if you want to use stuff that isn't quite as biodegradable, so you might want to keep a plant in it for slightly longer. For example, you may have a plastic bottle.
Okay.
Now, you may think, how are you going to get a plant in there? Very simple. You grab a pair of scissors, you cut the bottle, and you end up with something that slightly may resemble a pot.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is put some soil in the bottom, put a plant in, and you can cut the bottle as low as you like, as high as you like. And that's quite cool. And actually, if you want the bottle a bit lower, you cut strips out of the plastic and use them as labels for your plants in the pots. Nice. So you can use like a Sharpie or another type of pen, other brands are available, to write on the plastic what plant you've just put in your new bottle or bottles.
That's brilliant. Okay, so there's plastic bottles as well then. Anything else?
This is probably quite a common one, and I know a lot of people who do this, but you can use tins. Quite simple. If you want to put a drainage hole in the bottom, you can drill a hole with parental help, please. But you can use tins. That's a really great sustainable way to reuse. And you aren't using plastic pots. And another really cool one that I've started to try to work out is glass, which obviously we need to be careful with. Last summer, I think it was, I went for a cream tea with a friend, jam first, and I'll
let you off with that one. Now I had to think then for a second. I was like, is it? Yeah, that's right.
It is #jam first. We got given these little glass jars with jam in them. So when I got home, I decided to try to grow a succulent in this little glass jar, and it worked. So, you can grow plants in almost anything. And I think that's kind of the key message, isn't it? That you can reuse, but on a total opposite end of the spectrum. So we've got this little glass, which, I could fit inside one hand, to a slightly larger jar.
Wow.
Now, if you edit that well, Mike, that will look really cool.
Have you seen? I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm not that good at it.
You know what you're doing. So we've used some leftover stones from the garden, put some soil on top, and grew some succulents inside. Now, I wouldn't claim this is a terrarium. They need mosses and all sorts of fancy stuff. But this is quite a cool way of just kind of presenting some plants. These have been in here since October, and they're still growing. So It kind of worked.
It's great. It gets young people to sort of look at reusing things, and it's a great way of actually creating something brand new, like a plant or cress, or thinking about different objects and how they can actually turn that into something beauty, like with little plants that you've got there. So that's nice.
Absolutely. I think it's important to remember that being sustainable can be fun. It doesn't have to be expensive as well. And everybody can get involved with it. So hopefully there are some ideas. I guess as much as being a skill, it can contribute obviously to the planet, but also if you grow green things, like every time I walk into this room, I feel good. And I think, like you asked in the 60-second Scouter, it can improve your well-being. So you're doing something good for the planet. You're doing something that's good for the plants. You're doing something that's good for you. So, it's kind of benefiting lots of different things in lots of different ways.
You guys got up to some amazing things, both indoors, outdoors, wherever in the world you are. So these are the photos that you guys posted on social media this month. Here we go.
Well, it looks like you've all had a really great time last month. We would love to see what you get up to this month. So don't forget, whatever you get up to, wherever you're doing it, to tag Scoutadelic on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And we look forward to seeing them all in next month's video at the start of July.
So it's part of the show where I win my co-host. Well, it has happened for the last sort of few times. So I'm hoping that I will win you. But, you've got youthful sort of knowledge in your head, and I'm very old, and I'll lose it. So it's one of them. But we are going to play a game of host v co-host. And this month it is Scout tennis. So the idea is simple. We have some categories in here, and we go backwards and forwards with that category. So if, for example, the category was pie, I would say apple, you would say
steak.
And we go backwards and forwards until either someone spent longer than 5 seconds, the other person has to count visually, or if someone repeats something that another person has said. Now then, my co-host lost last time, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 in here. So what number would you like? And I will pick for you that number corresponding.
Oh, let's go for 3.
3 right in the middle. Okay, so this is the middle one. Okay. Scout badges.
Oh, wonderful.
Great. So whenever you're ready.
Gardeners.
Astronomy.
Global issues.
The World Scout Award.
Oh, international.
Oh, the Year Awards.
Oh, hikes.
Nights Away.
Musician.
Oh, okay. Then it would be swimmer badge.
Sports.
Time on the water. Sports. Whoa.
Sports enthusiast. Sports enthusiast.
Thank you. I just wanted to check. Time on the water.
The air one. The staged time in the air. Is it?
Nope.
No. What's it called?
There we are.
So
5 seconds are up. It would be air activities.
Oh, there we go. I knew it was something like air something. I also like that I've had the Earth Tribe one here, your one there, Promise to the Planet there, that I all could have pointed out.
You could have literally got away with that because they are scouting badges, even though mine are not allowed to be on a uniform. Just have to clarify that statement for anyone. So here we are. So this one then is knots. Now that sigh gives me a sense of relief that I might be able to win this. So I'm going to start with my all-time favorite, the Highwayman's Hitch.
The friendship knot.
The bowline or bowline.
Reef knot.
The square lashing.
I've said reef knot. Sheepshank.
Oh, sheet bend.
Oh, figure of 8.
Oh, a figure of 8 on a bite.
Does a what not count?
What's a what not?
Just anything.
I'll let you have this just because you are obviously losing at this moment in time. A granny knot then, if we're going with a what not and a granny knot. There we are.
A sailor's knot. That's a thing, isn't it?
I will hope for the best that is a knot of right now. An alpine butterfly.
Oh, you've researched this, haven't you?
No, I only know that because I actually did a quiz reunion, and that was one of the like sort of things.
A normal bow that you would do your shoes with. What would you call that?
Okay, just a
bow.
normal, yeah, shoelace. Not, I know what you mean. You've already had recent, haven't you?
Sorry.
That's all right.
That's
My plan is to get more not videos on my channel so I can be like, hey, I can reel them all off.
Including the whatnot.
Right, you've got 1, 2, or 3 in here left.
Oh, let's go for 3 again. Let's go for it.
Campfire songs.
Guess which one I'm saying first.
I have no idea, but I'm sure it has a pigeon in it.
Charlie had a pigeon.
The year is hang low.
He jumped from 20,000 feet without a parachute.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yeehaw!
Kumbaya.
On top of spaghetti, all covered in cheese.
Ginganguli.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat.
If you're happy and you know it.
Nice. You had Ginganguli already, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
And you've also had Kumbaya as well. So it would be in the springtime, singing around the lake. I was walking along.
Very good. The hokey cokey. Although please don't do the hokey cokey into a campfire for health and safety reasons.
Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men.
Oh, it's a long way to Tipperary.
Oh, you never get to heaven.
Tiptoe through the tent pegs.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Have you not?
No. This little guiding light of mine.
Oh, you can't get to heaven. You'll never get to heaven.
Already said that.
Have you?
Yeah, so you never get to heaven. Yes. Oh, a win on a duplicate.
Very, very close.
You were really reeling some good campfire songs off there. I'm quite impressed.
I'm trying to think of any others that.
So on YouTube channel Scoutadelic, there is around about 70.
So
none of which
if you're
I
going to
remember.
play this game, if you're going to play this game at home, make sure to get to the Scoutadelic YouTube channel and research your campfire songs.
Even I don't know them all. But I am tempted to actually do like a little campfire song.
Alice the Camel. That could have been one.
That would have been a good one. Or you could even have probably gone with the push the button, the juice crazy moose.
Oh the moose. Yeah.
The penguin. Have you ever seen a penguin come to take the stuff?
Yeah.
Hey, you repeated one of mine, so
I did, unfortunately.
So that is another clear win. Boom.
Close, not quite clear. It was close.
You had to Google like sort of sailing up just to make sure that you were actually not going to lose on that technicality. So I'm quite impressed. So hopefully I can keep my winning streak because I want one year where I actually win my co-hosts, and this could be the year. Fingers crossed.
So that's the end of our show.
Don't forget to give us a like, share, and comment below what you are doing for the Jubilee, if anything. So there we are. And by participating, you can get one of these really amazing badges, one of which you can obviously see behind Jordan there. And a big thanks to our patrons who support our channel, who are Heather, Irvin, Joseph, Lara, Mark, Marcus, Martin, Percy, Rob, Roger, and Steve. You can be one too. Check out the links below.
And above all, don't forget, be a little Scoutadelic. Bye.
Bye.